Hello and welcome back to another video here in the LEGO room. I hope you are well. I was almost going to say Happy New Year there. I had to stop myself because it is New Year, but by the time this is sort of released and I've sorted this out, it'll probably be a couple of weeks into January. So happy middle of January to you all. And for those of you that saw the video that I did at New Year about the Mocs that we did over 2025 and teased and hinted in that video about what is to come, and well, today is the day. So as I mentioned in that video, I showed off these two, which is Voldemort and Harry, and very specifically the Triwizard Tournament version of Harry. And I'm going to follow on from what we did last year, which was to build a Prisoner of Azkaban diorama style Moc, which is something that I spoke about last year when I spoke about why don't we have these diorama series style the same way we do for LEGO Star Wars. It's 25 years on, and a lot of us were kids at the time, now have disposable income and want to have displayable sets. And I did loads of LEGO Star Wars Mocs last year. You can go and check those out. But at the back end of 2025, I did a LEGO Harry Potter diorama Moc. I, of course, previously, as you can just see in the corner there, have done bigger LEGO Harry Potter Mocs. You can go and check those out on the channel. But I started to do smaller LEGO diorama Mocs for Harry Potter, and it was my plan this year, and still is, to do the other 7 books, 8 films, however you want to call it. I've got a pretty good idea for almost every single film, so I'm looking to sort of do those throughout the coming months. If you're a LEGO Harry Potter fan, please do keep it here, hit the subscribe button. It would be sincerely appreciated. It does help us out, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun. This is certainly my favorite thing to do with LEGO, is to build some Mocs. So let me show you what we've got planned for today. As you've probably worked out there, we're going to be doing a Goblet of Fire Moc, and there are a couple of key decisions to make as we move through it. So the first of which is to decide which of these are the better Triwizard Tournament trophies. You've got the one that we got a year or so ago with the Durmstrad ship, which is, of course, a really nicely made goblet with the snake pieces as handles there. And then you've got this, which was from the Cedric Diggory CMF, if I do believe correctly. So I've got a couple of different options there. We've also got one from the Graveyard set, which I had pre-COVID. I'm not sure which year it came out. I think it was 2019, but I had this pre-COVID, and some inspiration will be taken from this set for sure. But it isn't going to be that one. I think, quite frankly, we've shown that we've kind of moved on a bit now. So yeah, it's not going to be this one. But as I've dug that set out of backlog purely for inspiration and for a little bit of help, quite frankly, with this set, there is one thing I definitely want to keep, and it is most of this, which is, of course, the Graveyard Tombstone of Tom Riddle there. I don't know if you can see it with the light reflection. It's a sticker piece, but it will get the job done. I want to keep this intact as the main backdrop in the center of it, and there's also one or two other bits as well that I'm going to include in there. So some inspiration will be taken. That set, however, and I will try and drop it on screen. Maybe it's not the version I've got because it's a bit rough from being in backlog for about a couple of years there. It's a little dusty and rough, but that set's actually got a brown base, and I don't intend to use a brown base. Me and Mrs. Bricker watch the Harry Potter films in the lead up to Christmas, and the one thing that I realised during the rewatch of Goblet of Fire is that it is all grass. There is no brown, muddy texture. It is all grass, so it's going to be a very heavily grass-based diorama. As I always say with these builds, if you want to see the end result, you want to see what it looks like in the end, feel free to skip ahead to the end. Please do like the video if you're going to do that. Absolutely does help us out. But if you want to see the process of how we sort of make these, you want to see me sort of lose my mind a little bit as we try to work out how to arrange everything and make it fit into that small box, then stay tuned, because we're about to time-lapse the build. So first things first, and it's building the plate, and I've covered how to do this in a couple of previous videos at the very beginning of doing these mock dioramas about a year ago, so you can go back and check those out. It's then putting the dark green plate on top and making sure that everything sort of lines up, and that we've got enough space to get that tombstone in the back. So we're halfway through, and well, I say about halfway through, there's going to be plenty of tinkering going on, but I thought I'd show you kind of where we're at and unveil my big sort of plan for this. You can see the Triwizard cup in the corner there, the gravestone which you've had to build into the surface, and if you can see that, look at that, we've got an actual duel going on, just like the most recent play scale Hogwarts Final Duel set. So we're going to have them with their wands there, and with the 2 colours as well. Couldn't get a red version. Orange is about as close as I can get it to for Harry, and of course green for Voldemort with the Avada Kedavra. And you've got the Deathly Hallows tombstone in the background there as well. So yeah, pretty pleased with the sort of structure that we've created. We're going to need to texture the green quite significantly for it to actually look sort of like a field rather than just like it's a green base plate. So yeah, plenty of work to be done, but not a bad starting point. So for whatever reason, the time-lapse did corrode and I can't access it, but this should make quite a nice contrast from the clip that you just saw, where we kind of had some of the basics outlined. And yeah, let me just sort of pull it out so you can see what we have achieved. The main sort of issue was getting the texture right on the grass and sort of putting enough sort of mud and grass in there, keeping it dark as well. I didn't want to use too many light green colours. It's a very dark scene, it's at night, the grass is dark, the mud's dark. You can see we've got the older Death Eater in there from a few years ago. Got the tombstone, got another little tree build in the corner I've sort of made myself, very similar to how I did it in the Prisoner of Azkaban mock, in case you want to go and check that out for how we did it. I did a little bit of a step-by-step in that particular video. In the corner you've got Cedric on his front. I'm assured by Mrs. Bricker that it's not too morbid, that it's not offside, and that one will stand after VAR. The Triwizard Tournament trophy there felt appropriate for that one because it's the one that comes with Cedric in the CMF. Got a bit of a sapling at the front there. You've got the cauldron pot as well, if we can sort of see into it. A little tricky to get over the wands there. But you've got a bit of sort of a skin flesh colour there in the 1x1 tile. That is just to represent, obviously, Scabbers and Peter Pettigrew's hand. You've got the Bone of the Father, which did come in that cauldron pot in the original Harry vs. Voldemort set, as did, of course, the tombstone, but I've added some spider webs behind it. Just think that makes it look a little more dark and dingy and dungy at the very sort of end of the night. And yeah, generally fairly pleased with it. I would like Harry and Voldemort's wands to be a little more connected with those pieces, and I would like Harry's to be red as well, but that is about as close as it's going to get. And of course that is, of course, the peril with making stuff yourself and not having access to creating new Lego pieces. You sort of dealing with the best that you have. And yeah, generally I'm pretty pleased with it. It should take a nice little pride of place just next to the Prisoner of Azkaban mock. So there you have it. Pretty pleased generally with it. There's one or two things I would tweak, and I feel like I say that after every mock I create. I would maybe like to texture it a little bit more, but I think texturing landscapes always very difficult. There's a point where it just becomes overkill, and I think you do sort of get the message across. It's quite grungy, it's dark, it's dark green. You've got all the key components in there. Some would say maybe it's too much. Mrs. Bricker assured me that it was okay to have Cedric in there on his front and unresponsive there. You've also got another Death Eater in there, one of the older Death Eaters, as opposed to the new ones we've been getting. So yeah, some good bits in there. Pleased to have got the wand pieces there, at least green and orange. Maybe I'll switch that out for a red piece for Harry at some point in the future. But yeah, fairly pleased with that, and pleased with my decision to go with the sort of newer Triwizard Cup, the one that comes with Cedric in the CMFs as well. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. And it will live next to the Prisoner of Azkaban mock for now, and with those sort of little slits that I've got underneath Hogwarts, it's highly likely that I will put all 8 films dioramas in there. That is certainly the goal. Whether or not that stays the goal become the end of the year, I'm not entirely sure, because we'll probably be moving into a new Lego room within the next couple of months. So yeah, right now that's the goal, and we'll look to add another one to it within the next month or so. So if you've enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it. It'd be sincerely appreciated. Please do feel free to leave a very kind comment underneath the video as well. That would be sincerely appreciated. And keep it here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, because we'll do another Lego Harry Potter diorama within the next month or so. And the plan is to do all of the films this year. And let me know which film you'd like to see in the comment section below, and if there's a scene that you'd like to see as well, because I've sort of created a little short list of scenes that I think we could compile that I would sort of see as notable scenes from the films. So yeah, let's see if any of them match up, and if they do, maybe I'll drop one as the next diorama mock for Lego Harry Potter. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye.